All right, so cash, lease, or finance. So leasing essentially has two attributes to it. One, it can give you a tax advantage, but if you're not making profits, it doesn't matter. So leasing is actually good for cash flow. Otherwise, it's not great. If you pay cash, how many people here get the 0% deals when you buy stuff? Raise your hands. Okay, it's not a deal. Because I just go in there with cash and save 10 grand. Okay? Believe me. So those deals aren't 0%. Trust me, they don't get the money for free, nor do you. You're just paying for it in a different way. Okay? So cash, lease, or finance. If you finance it, it's on your balance sheet and you own it. If it's leased, it's not. So there are some advantages to that, right? It's not my problem if it's leased. If you own it, it's your problem. Now you might be afraid I can't sell it, this or that. So leasing is generally better for cash flow. That's why I would use it. There's two types of leases. There's an operating lease and a capital lease. One of them is treated like a finance. In other words, you can't just write it all off. So if you're in a great position, you use cash. If you have a ton of money. If you're in a cash flow problem, you would lease. And then you can have a hybrid of these strategies depending where you are on your business growth journey. Okay? Because we're all at different stages. Some of you have more money than you know what to do with. Some of you are kind of just a little bit above water. Some of you guys are kind of at the threshold, and some of you might be below water, right? So our strategy will change depending on where we're at. And essentially, money is oxygen. You can go, I think, 3 minutes without oxygen. That's it. So Peter and I learned that lesson. I think we made a $250,000 profit. I bought 2 trucks back in the days with cash, and I literally almost went bankrupt on cash flow. Fortunately, my mom let me live at home, and so that saved us. Okay, don't move back in with your parents. Not recommended, especially if you're married. So, what should I consider? So, smart fleet rotation, 3 to 4 year cycles, especially on high wear stuff like skid steers and track loaders. If you have low utilization, you can start to stretch that longer. Excavators take less of a beating unless you have jackhammers on them than loaders. Skid steers have the highest wear and tear. I usually like to get rid of them before I have to do an undercarriage, right? 40 years old. And then comes the big heart attack. It's coming, okay? So there's electronic record keeping, a whole bunch of wonderful things. GPS. Do I need GPS to track my equipment? Yes or no? Maybe. Maybe. Why are you using the GPS? To make sure your guys don't go to Tim Hortons? Well, that means you have a bad culture. If you have a good culture, you don't need to worry about it. You can save the GPS. If you're using it for snow removal, I think EXT software has it ingrained in their software. It's not expensive, great, but you don't have to have separate GPS. If it's built into your software and using it for snow, or if you actually have the time to administer the metrics of downtime and all that stuff by vehicle, that's great too. But most of you don't have enough time to get your paperwork upgraded so you don't make that insurance mistake like I did, which cost me money, right? So you got other fish to fry.